Moving right along to House Bill 5585 by Representative Amore. And we have Mr. Rick McAuliffe, United Food and Commerce, who supports this bill 5585. Come on down. You're on, Mr. McAuliffe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'll be very quick because I know it's been a very long night for all of you, and I salute your public service and all the hard work that you all do. This bill is very simple. Rhode Island is the only state in the country right now. Massachusetts still has it, although there's phasing out, but we're fortunately the only state in the country that still rewards our workers for working on Sundays. As you all know, back in the day, supermarkets were closed on Sunday, and there was an agreement when they opened up the supermarkets on Sunday that they would be paid time and a half on Sundays, and that still happens. And for a lot of working people, I know you were talking earlier about the minimum wage. Well, for a lot of people, their money is really made on Sunday when they work. They give up their religious activities. They give up barbecues and cookouts, and they give up going to sporting events with their children or coaching and so forth because they can make extra money on Sundays, and they give all that up. Anyway, over the years, businesses have come and asked for exemptions, and they've been granted, and I think the exemptions have been very good for financial institutions that want to come to the state of Rhode Island, AAA, call centers, and so forth. They've gotten exemptions on that. But the issue we have with this the issue that we've had is that the administration makes a decision whether to have time and a half on Sundays, not the General Assembly. And what this bill simply does is it gets rid of the authorization of the Department of Labor and Training if some classification of employers want an exemption, and instead it gives it to the General Assembly. And here's why we think it's important. Too long we've seen people give out tax breaks and credits and so forth to companies that don't either reach the pinnacle of what they're supposed to do in terms of hiring employees, and also they don't go around or stick around as long as they should. We had a company called Green Corps in North Kingstown where they got a 50-year lease and a 25% discount on their paying their taxes. They were promised 370 jobs. Well, the Department of Labor and Training gave them an exemption, and they ended up hiring 218 people, not 370, and after 2 years, they left the state. So this legislation would simply get the authorization to have an exemption out of the Department of Labor and Training, and it would go to the General Assembly, which would obviously allow for more transparency, discussion, and so forth. Twin River, a couple of years ago, working with the laborers, wanted to exempt their workers on Sunday. They talked about it. Instead of going to DLT, they actually put a piece of legislation in, and it was transparent. It went through your committee. It passed, and they were able to get that exemption, and Twin River was very happy with it, but it went through a legislative process. By getting rid of that, we will have a legislative process rather than have a bureaucrat or some administration make the decision. So that's why we have this bill, and we ask for your support for it.
Are there any questions of the witness? Thank you, Mr. McAuliffe. Hope you're well.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've been well. A good hearing from you.
Same.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Mr. Paul McDonald from Teamsters Local 251. Mr. McDonald, you're on again. Last call for alcohol.
Well, Madam Chairperson, committee members, and your staff, on behalf of Teamsters Local 251, we are in full support of this bill, and that concludes my testimony. I'll take any questions if you have any.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald, for your testimony. We appreciate that.
Are there any questions? Thank you very much. That concludes the hearing on 5585, but for the record, would like to put in the record, Bob Wheeler is against this bill. George Nee, Rhode Island AFL-CIO, is for the bill. Matthew Tabai, I'm just done, is for the bill. Christopher Carlosi, NFIB, is opposing the bill. Not done with that gentleman, but fried from exhaustion. And that concludes this evening. I entertain a motion for adjournment from someone. Everybody. Nobody opposes. Thank you so much.
So moved.
Thank you. Good night. Good night. You all are lucky that you're over there at home.
Good night, Jim.
Ah.
I love you.